Yo, what's up, motherfuckers? Let's try to make this quick. Later on in 2049, shit. Like I've motherfucking said, 8 months, what the fuck ago, right? In a fucking little video, and I got all these haters saying like, "Oh no, what the hell, Ryan Gosling," you know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up, man. It was shit, and you know it was shit. And me especially, I'm in like a bunch of these like film kind of buffs, what the fuck, Facebook groups and all this shit, right? And for the last few weeks or what the fuck, it's been out, or like it's been released for, nothing but hype for this fucking movie. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is fucking better than the original. Oh my god, this is fucking fantastic. This is such a fucking great movie." Da 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 da. The director, I cannot be fucked saying his last name right of this movie. I think he also directed Arrival, right? So I think that's probably the big kind of thing that I took away from this movie was that it a lot of the time it felt as if it was just another kind of one of those like quote unquote dystopian movies that come out nowadays, which are targeted towards chicks, right? Like you have like Arrival, you have what is it, like Hunger Games, you have what was that other one, fucking Divergent and shit, like that entire series and stuff, like that. Even like shittier ones like The Circle with Emma Watson and Tom Hanks. These kind of shitty, yeah, pretty much these kind of like shitty, whatever kind of tier of like quote unquote dystopian movies that have been coming out lately. It felt exactly like that for like a good half of the movie, I'd say, right? Sure, there was some like decent shots visually here and there, right? But for the most part of it, it really, really, really felt like one of those kind of movies, like a whatever kind of dystopian movie, right? And the thing is, I made a fucking video, but the thing is, it got taken down because of copyright and what the fuck. And in that video, I was talking about why Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, is a motherfucking 10 out of 10 masterpiece, right? And I had all these motherfucking things that, like, why I fucking loved it, right? And maybe the biggest takeaway you can take away from, like, from that little video that you'll never be able to see, right, was that Blade Runner itself was just fucking a unique motherfucking movie, right? Ridley Scott directing that and everything like that. Vangelis fucking, composing that motherfucking score, right? That shit was motherfucking top notch, right? And I've watched Blade Runner 1982 many motherfucking times, right? The OG version, the motherfucking final cut. I've never actually gone around to watching the theatrical version, but I've heard decent things about it. But I've heard that it does have some narration and shit like that, which might be weird. Regardless, it ended up being like it was always a 9 out of 10 movie for me, Blade Runner 1982. But then I watched it in the midnight on a midnight screening. What's it called? On in drive-in cinema. It was fucking amazing, right? And it was a motherfucking 10 out of 10 right after that movie. That was like probably the best fucking like cinema experience I've ever had in my motherfucking life. Okay, um, and just because you could really see how fucking beautiful, I don't want to sound like a queer, but how motherfucking beautiful that motherfucking movie really was in terms of, the shot selection, just visually how fucking great it was. Um, and not even to mention, like the plot, the plot, the acting of like Harrison Ford, and also I was talking about the acting of the side characters, the minor characters, in terms of like the even like the police detectives that what's it called, like manage, I guess you could say, Deckard, right? Even those guys, they didn't like overact, or they didn't even like take away screen presence from Deckard, who's the main motherfucking character, right? And it just made that movie motherfucking unique. And so with that, right, I already knew, like, this is the video I made like what, 8 months ago or what the fuck, earlier this year, in which I was specifically saying that it was going to be a fucking shit movie. It was not going to be better than motherfucking Blade Runner. No motherfucking way, okay? Yet I've got a bunch of motherfuckers saying that it like fucking shits on the original. I'm like, what the fuck? Have you even watched the original? And a lot of these people watching 2049 never fucking actually watched the original, which is fucking retarded, okay? They don't even, okay, regardless of that, right? I also made another video, or like a podcast, I guess, in which I had like, predictions with a mate of mine, right? Billy Boy. And because of his poor fucking dumb cunt fucking research, in which he said to me that Vangelis was actually what's it called, composing the soundtrack for 2049, which is actually bullshit. There's no such thing of that, right? It actually ended up being Hans Zimmer collaborated with someone else, right? So that's like, what the fuck, right? But in that podcast, I actually thought that Vangelis, I was under the impression that Vangelis was actually going to compose 2049. And because of that alone, I was thinking, hey, 2049 could be alright, yeah? But that was like fake news. That was like misinformation, complete misinformation. So like, with that, obviously my expectations are back to rock bottom. I went in with fucking zero expectations and I got fucking disappointed. Okay? Like, that's how motherfucking much I did not like this motherfucking movie, okay? I've been meaning to give it a second chance, but honestly, I don't want to pay another fucking, what, 10, 20 bucks to see a motherfucking movie, this fucking shitty ass movie again, right? Half the time I was honestly just waiting for it to finish. Okay? I was just like, when is this motherfucking shit gonna finish, right? Let's get to the motherfucking point. Let's wrap this shit up, okay? Okay, Ryan Gosling, I didn't give a fuck about this guy. I didn't give a fuck about any of these motherfucking characters. Fuck him, alright? I didn't give a fucking shit about the Jared Leto character. I didn't even give a shit about the Harrison Ford character at this point, honestly. All of this shit was just fucking, like, whatever to me. And especially with the Ryan Gosling kind of thing, sure, it's probably, like, a good move in terms of, like, trying to find an audience or trying to, like, market the movie towards, like today's consumer, right? But even that didn't even necessarily go so well because the movie actually did bomb in the box office. Suck a dick. But yeah, regardless of that, I'm just not a fan of Ryan Gosling in the first place, and having him in this kind of movie, for some people you could argue that, okay, he did, like, he played the role great, right? But sure, he might have, right? If the goal was for me to not give two motherfucking shits about the lead character or anyone else, right? The story, the plot, it just felt, okay, here's the thing with 2049. It felt as if there was so many kind of things they were trying to do at one time, you know what I mean? Like, they couldn't do it. And because they were trying to go all over the place, right? Then they ended up fucking, like, doing nothing. It ended up just being shit, just a mess almost, right? But the OG, the original, it was just its own thing. It just had its own distinct flavor, its own style. It just became its own thing, right? It made its own motherfucking thing. It made it like, you could argue it started the entire cyberpunk and noir kind of, subgenre, right? But 2049, because of the fact, obviously, I'm not saying I could do a better job. I'm not saying that, right? But what I'm saying, though, is that why the fuck did you even need to bring a sequel? There's no need for a motherfucking sequel. No one was fucking asking for it, right? So if you're gonna bring a motherfucking sequel onto the table, it better be fucking good, and it better be motherfucking worth bringing a motherfucking sequel, right? But no, it wasn't even fucking, like, great, honestly. And that's the thing that pisses me off. The fact that they brought it back simply just to fucking milk the motherfucking, just to milk the fucking fan base. But I'm glad that it did bomb in the box office and shit like that, which apparently I think the first one did also, and it later became a cult classic, I guess. But regardless of that, right, 2049, there was no need for this. We should have just left the OG Blade Runner as it was, okay? Obviously, Ridley Scott wasn't directing 2049, the sequel, right? And like, that was my initial kind of beef with this movie when it was announced, right? But the thing is, with that, I have to kind of, take back that point, because I will admit, for the Alien franchise, the Alien series, whatever, so the original Alien was directed by Ridley Scott, but then the sequel was directed by James Cameron, right? But still, Ridley Scott was still involved, probably production and shit like that, right? And I would argue that Aliens was maybe possibly even a better movie than Alien. But regardless of that, 2049 was still shit, okay? And it was possibly due to, Ridley Scott not being in that director motherfucking chair. It just felt, it was just not a motherfucking good movie, right? Okay, sure, it was probably better than, like, a lot of the shit that's coming out now. But the thing is, this movie, it was it was exactly as how I had predicted it was gonna be, right? Sure, it could have been like it had potential, right? But that potential, for my personal opinion, it didn't fucking like go anywhere necessarily. And with that, like my only kind of thing that I want to make sure I get through in this video is that 2049 was nowhere motherfucking like was no motherfucking like fuck you if you fucking think that 2049 was better than the original, okay? Get the fuck out of my motherfucking face. That's all I wanted to actually get across in this motherfucking video. 2049 was not better than the motherfucking OG movie. Period, full stop, get the fuck out of my face, okay? But I but as promised in the fucking video I made earlier this year, calling out 2049 gonna be a shit motherfucking movie, in which I did get haters and, you know, some fucking common sense people, right? To all the, what, 40 people that viewed that video, right? But, you know, I just, okay, I'm just sitting here showing you that I'm motherfucking right as usual, okay? So, you know, I told you so. I hate to say it, but I told you so. I already said in that previous video also that I wasn't expecting shit, but I was always expecting to get like fucked, and I did get fucked. That's the thing. So yeah, 2049 nowhere fucking near as good as the original. Okay, so get the fuck out of my face if you fucking even have that opinion. That's honestly all I really have to say. And I've just been, the thing is, I watched this movie motherfucking what, like last week and shit, and I was thinking of on that day making a rant video, but I was like, nah, you're too emotional, man. Like, you know, you're gonna have like a clouded judgment, da da da, right? But I'll give it another week, calm down a bit. Maybe because of that, I'm gonna get less views in this video because, you know, it's not a trending topic anymore, right? But I don't give a fucking shit. Now I'm making like a pure 100% clear, you know, judgment right here with this motherfucking movie, and it still holds true. Not great. It wasn't great, and it's like I motherfucking said, like the entire motherfucking time. I already was saying it was not going to be good, but motherfuckers, you know, they just think they know everything, right? Regardless, thank you for fucking listening, right? And I just really wanted to get this off my chest. 2049 was nowhere near as good as the fucking original, and fuck you if you think otherwise. Thank you very much. Okay, usually I don't, you know, edit my motherfucking videos. I just, like in one take, I'll just, you know, improvise, fucking say what's on my mind, right? But specifically, I needed to, like, say this one last point, okay? Sure, people are gonna bring up all the fucking, this, like, in-between prequels, like, marketing fucking bullshit that they've been producing in terms of that anime, that short anime kind of piece in which Watanabe, the director of motherfucking like Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop, two of my favorite fucking animes, and Cowboy Bebop especially was actually inspired by Blade Runner, right? Even though like that, and then I think there was like two other shorts, right? Even they were like meh, right? And I fucking like, I'm a huge fan of motherfucking Watanabe, right? And his work and everything like that. But the thing is, there's only so much of a story and so much you can do within 15 motherfucking minutes, right? So please don't like bring that up as like a point to why like 2049 is great. You have to understand that that's just fucking marketing at the end of the day, right? That's just trying to hype you up, and that's smart on them. They knew that people that watch, you know, were fans of Watanabe's work were definitely going to be, you know, fans of Blade Runner too. So that's a good kind of thing. That's a, you know, that's a smart marketing technique, right? That good for them on that, right? But that is what it is. It's motherfucking marketing, okay? It was just hyping you up, okay? I was motherfucking hyped as shit when I saw that shit. I was like, oh fuck yeah, man, they're doing these things right. Like fuck yeah, Watanabe motherfucking crossover up in here. That's like, you know, hell yeah. But I watched it. It was like whatever. I didn't give a shit. So please do not bring that up. Like please do not let that fucking fuck with your judgment here, okay? That's all. That's the only like last kind of point I wanted to throw in there, because that purely itself is just marketing. Those prequels, those shorts, whatever the fuck, right? It's just marketing, okay? Don't let it fucking hype you up. Don't let it fucking make you think that this movie was a great movie when it really wasn't, okay? Okay, sure, you could maybe think it was a great movie. I don't give a fucking shit. As long as you don't fucking come here and disrespect me by fucking spitting on my motherfucking face and saying that 2049 was better than the motherfucking original. Get the fuck out of my face. Now, thank you for real for the last time. I'm out.